everyone, it's Leanne with Lovely Scrappin'. I'm going to do a quick tutorial as it's been requested a few times on just showing you how I do my water painting of my flowers. So I use distress ink, and so for this one I use the Faded Jeans and the Vintage Photo distress ink for this. And so I'm going to make another one using I'm going to try the Aged Mahogany and Vintage Photo just because these colors are going with the project that I'm doing, and I've made this for a project as well. So let me bring it up close so you can see it. So you can see the multi-tone. You don't have to do it multi-tone, you can do it single, like I've done these ones just using Vintage Photo. So let me show you really quickly how I do it. So I work on my non-stick craft mat. It works really good for just stamping your inks on there, and sorry it's really grungy, as you can see I use it a lot. And then you're just going to need a spray bottle of water. So I'm going to be using a large gardenia. I think this is the GB4-153. So what I do is I keep the stem on until the end because I like to hold on to it when I'm painting, but I am going to, you can keep these leaves on if you want. However, it's easier to work with it without. I'm not going to be saving the leaves, so I'm just going to rip them off, but if you wanted to pop the leaves back on, then you can just carefully take them off, because you don't want to discolor them when you're painting. You can carefully take them off like this, and then after you're done painting your flower, you can reuse the leaves and put them back on, or you can just paste them underneath if you want, but I'm not going to be using these. You can also color them darker if you don't want them so bright and vibrant looking. So anyway, so this is what we're going to be working with. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do so with this one I use the blue on the outer edges. So for this one I'm going to do red on the outer edges, Vintage Photo in the center. So what I do is I like to do my outer edges first, and then I'd work doing the center. Okay, so I'll show you what I mean here. So first I like to just kind of open up my leaves a little bit, or petals, sorry, a little bit, getting it ready to paint. And I'm going to stamp down my ink pad a couple times on my craft mat, and then I'm going to give it a good spray. And I like to spray a few times in the center of it all, and then also off to the side, because I like to pick up more water as I go, depending on how vibrant I want the color to be on the flower. So you can kind of go with the flow however you like. Oh, and I also like to take the water and give my flower a bit of a spray, because it soaks up so much water that when you're just directly painting onto the flower, it absorbs so much and you're going to have to use a lot of ink. But this way it just bleeds nicely if you just pre-dampen it. So I just not too much, because it's going to get soaked with all of the coloring you're going to do. So just a little bit, enough to just dampen it nicely. And then I'm just going to hold it. Hopefully you guys can make out what I'm doing. Sorry, the lighting is a bit bad right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go along the edges of the petals, okay? And you're going to watch it bleed. You see it bleed as I touch the edges. So you really only need to touch a little bit, and depending on how much of this color you want going in, you can touch it further into the petal and it'll bleed further in. I love altering flowers this way. It just gives it such a unique look, and you can just customize your projects however you want with these flowers. And I love the gardenias. They're one of my favorites for my roses, along with the cherry blossoms, of course. So I'm just going to go along every single petal of my flower and just touch. And if you want to bring in more water, again, just bring in more water. Sorry if I'm off screen, guys. So as you can see, the flower is taking on a beautiful two-tone look right now. So, sorry if I was off screen there. So as you can see, I've got a bit of a two-tone look here. This one petal is pretty dark, so I'm going to just take my water and just spray my mat. And just pick up just water and just kind of water it down a little bit. And by adding more water, it just bleeds to the petal more, so that's okay. It'll look fine in the end. Okay, so I'm just going to set this down and I'm going to clean this ink up. You could color some more flowers if you want, and I think I might do that. I have some flowers sitting around here. I'm going to take my vintage photo, or whatever color you want to do next, and just do stamp down there. And now with this color, I'm going to touch the area that is not colored on the flower. So if you watch, it will bleed and fill it in nicely. And I also like to tone down my stamens a little bit by touching them with the ink as well. So pretty much usually I like to do the darker color on the outside, and I do it first, and then I go in with my lighter color and do the blending. Okay, guys, this is to show you. This is what it looks like so far, and it's going to change quite a bit once I dry it. So I'm just going to take my heat tool now. Okay, so as you can see now, I've got this gorgeous, hopefully you guys can make that out, gorgeous two-tone. And now what I've done with this one was, after I had finished coloring it, the ends were pretty light, so I took my distress ink and inked up the edges. So I'll do the same with this one. Oh, and some of my new subbies may not have seen my first tutorial on this. This is my homemade ink blending tools using wood I got from a hardware store, some foam and Velcro, and then I just added the Ink Essentials foam onto it. So if you are interested in making your own, I do have a tutorial. It's my very first YouTube video, so don't laugh, but do check it out under my playlist under money saving tips, or I can't remember what it's called, homemade money saving tip items or whatever, or just scroll down to the very first video and check it out if you're interested. Super cheap, guys. Oh my gosh, I can't remember how much I spent on like 24 ink blending tools. It was like $7 or something like that, including the Velcro and the foam and the wood and getting it cut, everything. It's so cheap. So all I'm doing is taking the distress ink in the dark red, like the aged mahogany, and going along the edges and just emphasizing the redness, the darkness of that ink. And because the lighting is really bad, guys, I apologize, but I'll take some still photos and just keep watching the end of the video, and I'll post these two flowers in a slideshow so you can have a better look at them. Okay, I think that's... And if you don't like how it is, of course you don't have to do this distressing, but if you find it's too bold, then you can spritz it with water and it will bleed a little bit and it'll just tone down the darkness of the edges. But I really like how it's dark like that, so I will be leaving it because I like the look. It's definitely going with the project I'm doing. Very grunge, vintage, distressed album. So that is it, you guys. A simple, easy way to alter your I Am Roses, your mulberry flowers, whatever you have, even your handmade paper flowers, you know, alter them using your distress inks. So anyway, guys, I hope that was a helpful tutorial. I really hope you like it. So now that I'm done the flower, I just take the back off because I don't need the stem for what I'm working on. And that is my completed I hope you like them. I hope you give it a try. Please leave a comment. And yeah, thanks everybody for watching. Take care. Bye now.